As some of you know, I recently switched out the decor in my 180-gallon aquarium for some D3 standing logs, which I'm really happy about, and I love the way they look. They're very authentic looking. But when I did that, I lost a lot of the color that was in the tank because of my artificial plants providing some greens and yellows and things like that. So now I have more of a neutral theme going on, which I do like, but I think I could stand for an additional pop of color somewhere. So what I'm going to be doing is taking a stab at gluing some moss directly to the rocks. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to take you through the journey with me, and without further ado, here we go.
So I bought this moss at the local fish store about 2 months ago, and it's been sitting in this container in our window until now. I've seen what looks like the same moss at Petco in the betta section. This will be easier to glue down if it's in little pieces, so I'm using these scissors to cut some moss up. After you cut it up, it's still pretty matted down, and even just running my fingers through it helps a little bit. But not enough for my taste. So I tried using some scissors to tease the moss into a more natural state. But this didn't work so great either, plus you have the added bonus of possibly cutting your fingers with the scissors. So I used my huge brain to come up with a better, ingenious idea. A plastic fork. It worked perfectly to make this moss look more like I was imagining it should. Good thing I went to college. Super glue gel is going to be our weapon of choice here.
The brand doesn't really matter, just make sure it's made of cyanoacrylate.
I hope you got that because I'm not saying that one twice. It's non-toxic for your fish as long as you're not going to be feeding it to them.
I started off by adding glue to a small section of rock and then adding a bit of moss. Then I repeated the process. And I should be wearing some nitrile or latex gloves, but I don't have any, so I'm just trying to be careful. I tend to be a little on the sloppy side though, unfortunately. You want to be fairly liberal with the glue, but not so much that it's going to create a mess. And remember, this stuff dries in a hurry, so get the moss on there pronto. My moss teasing fork has now become my moss pressing fork. Make sure you cover all the glue with moss or it'll turn white in the water. And here it is, my first attempt. Not great. It kind of resembles what my hair would look like if I let it grow out. And if it were green, of course. Which it isn't, by the way. After some extra TLC, I think it looks a bit better. We'll see how it looks in the tank. You can still see some white where the glue wasn't completely covered. Hopefully I'll do a better job on the next rock. Do you have a different or better way of super gluing moss to decor? Let me know in the comments. This time I am putting all the moss on the rock at once, and I'm placing a larger helping of moss to the rock to make sure all the glue is sufficiently covered. I'm not taking a liking to the white glue look once it hits the water. I think this looks much better. Oh, and here's a pro tip for you. Keep your opened glue in the fridge and it'll keep from turning solid. Oh, and speaking of solid, if you've enjoyed this video so far, do me a solid and like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I finished off the rest of the moss and added a few more rocks. I'll have to go get some more moss and do some more later. But I think it's getting there. What do you think? Do you like it better with or without the added moss? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts.